Hello and welcome again to another exciting edition of Cool Discussions. And it's that time of the week again, guys. Headlines. Headlines. Boom, 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 boom. This time we have we have two ugly people on the newspaper. Today we're going to start off with a headline that I read in the sports section of my interweb, because I don't read newspapers. Apparently in Ontario, they had this man, who was playing on their basketball team, who was a very tall man, very developed young man apparently, and they found out, it turns out he was 30 years old. I guess he was a recent refugee from Sudan or some other country, and he was at this Catholic school, and they were like, "Hey, play basketball," because obviously you're a big tall man. And they just recently found out that he's not 17 years old; he's 30, and they've placed him under arrest until they figure out what's happening. I thought that was pretty interesting. I was like, "Wow, how do you not know?"
Under arrest?
Yeah, they've put him in a detention center, saying that he knew that he was 30 years old and that he was impersonating a young person, and he said that he had no idea he was 30. He said that he had no clue, and it's like, wow, that's weird. So that's what I thought was happening. That was funny. I read that and I kind of got a little bit of a chuckle out of that.
Okay. Here in Canada, we like to celebrate weird things and put weird stuff on our stamps and our coins. And Scotty and Bones from Star Trek are now going to be on a collection of stamps.
Who's Bones?
The Doctor, McCoy.
Oh.
McCoy. They're going to be on a collection of stamps along with Captain Kirk, Spock, and Klingon.
Who still uses stamps?
Well, people collect them.
Really?
Stamp collecting has been around for a couple hundred years, I think.
Yes. Well, that's what our post office is good for.
Yeah. Well.
Building your stamp collection. Good on you.
Yeah.
Way to go, post office.
Next.
I found another one from out of Sweden. You know how over here in the Western North America, we all got to work 50 hours a week, 40 hours, 50, 60 hours a week, because we feel that the more work we put in, the more productive we will be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, over in Sweden, they've decided to experiment and do a little test with 6-hour work days, because they have the thought process of, and I agree with it. I think it's a great idea that who is really truly, when you're at work for 8 to 10 hours a day, who is truly being productive for that full 8 to 10 hours in a day.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know for a fact when I'm working, I'm not fully working for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell anybody. Shh.
It's true.
And so how many times do you take a little sneak at your phone for the Facebook, or take that text message while you're at work? Now you ask the question, what about pay? Well, they've decided to keep pay levels at the same rate as if you were just working a regular 8-hour day. But all they ask for you is that you save all your social media, all your personal phone calls for outside of work hours. So they're experimenting with a day from 8:30 to 11:30. You get an hour lunch in there, come back, work 12:30 to 3:30. So they're asking for 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon. And they're going to see they're going to review it. And
see, it's okay. Coming from a warehouse background, you need that extra time to get extra stuff out. Because if you only have a 6-hour day, that's 2 hours. Because in a warehouse environment, you may not necessarily be always working, but you're always doing this. So you cut 2 hours out of the day. And that's part of
their kind of what they're going to look at is it going to affect customers? Is it going to affect business and stuff like that? They're going to see how it works.
In a McDonald's, how are you going to...
Well, you have shifts, right?
Yeah, but then you have to add a whole extra shift to it just to get through.
Well, that's why it's an experiment over in...
Okay, yeah, I see way too many weird things with that, but okay, they're totally allowed to do that.
I thought it was very, very interesting.
I thought this was interesting. Thanks to social media and The only one I actually know is like Tinder. There are other ones, I know that. I just know of Tinder. Swipe right, swipe left.
Sure.
Oh,
I know of Tinder, but I don't know what
hookup apps are being blamed for a increase of STIs, or sexually transmitted infections, in Alberta. There are double the amount of cases of syphilis. Numbers like this have not been seen since 2005. There's a 93% increase in women, 66% increase in men. So people aren't being
safe.
They're not being safe. They're being really, really forward, for that matter.
Well, it's easier to...
Yeah, you can go, if you swipe right, you want to hook up. If both of you swipe right, it hooks you up, and then you can just go, hey, you want to have sex? Sure, done.
That's what a lot of people use it for, you know. That's what Tinder really is, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
And there are other ones. But yeah, just... it's almost at a level where the Alberta Health is going to call a crisis.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, neat. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Just wrap it up. Men. Women.
Women, don't take a raw penis.
No raw dogging.
Yeah.
No raw dogging, guys. You know, I don't understand these apps. I just don't understand them. Like, Jesus Christ.
Sex was so hard when we were growing up. You had to wine and dine them for weeks or months before you get anywhere. Now you just go swipe right.
I know.
Next thing you know, you're having sex.
Swipe right, send a dick pic or a boobs, and next thing you know, sometimes you don't even know how to do that. I don't know. Like, I just...
It's... Yeah, I'm sure you guys could say it's not that difficult. Yes. Try back when we were dating, you'd have to take a...
You have to buy her a night full of drinks, or, like, there was very hard...
It wasn't one date,
Yeah.
do you have... Because the question going around is, like, do you have sex after one date or three? And it's like, when we were growing up, it was like, do you have sex after 10 dates or 20, right?
Well, you could occasionally find the occasional one-night stand, but now it seems more prevalent.
You can have a one-night stand every night if you really wanted to.
Yeah, you could have a different person every day, and it's like...
Yeah, it was like... just for example, there's a guy sitting in front of me in the bus. He's having a chat with two different women about when he was going to have sex with them, and it's just like... in the same chat room, but like one in one conversation, one in another conversation. Is like, really? Just women give it up that readily?
Women and men give it up.
Men have always given it up that easily. That has never been the thing. As I said, 93% increase in women. So women, be safe. Get the men to wrap it.
Men, be
because
safe. It's not just up to the
syphilis
woman.
and gonorrhea are the things that have become more prevalent, and syphilis is bad and gonorrhea is
I wouldn't know.
No, actually, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sure it could be the other way around. However, it's not a great thing to be having.
I just don't understand. It's just so weird. I don't understand. I'll never get it, and I don't look forward to
having to deal with my daughters.
Having to
deal with this.
Even my son, I don't want him to have to deal with that crap. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just
true. Oh, we're about to go with the good old days.
The good old days of what?
Well, when our kids are doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I had to walk 40 miles to school uphill in knee-deep snow both ways.
Yeah, man.
We've all heard that from our parents, grandparents, haven't we?
Okay.
I don't have any more headlines.
So,
I have some more headlines, but they're a bigger topic.
Yeah, they are bigger topics. Okay, so I just found out that taxpayers have subsidized $5,000 to 5 people. 5 people, so that's $25,000 to 5 people who'd bought each $1 million electric car. So I guess the government subsidizes people who buy electric cars because it's better for the environment. But these people bought a $1 million car and they got a $5,000 rebate from the government. Now Oh, they bought $1 million car.
Ladies and gentlemen,
They don't need the
is
5,000.
that's in Canada?
Yeah, that was in Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Canadian government.
Yeah, I read that and went, oh. I actually had to read the article like 4 times just to make sure I wasn't putting a word over here and that would change the whole meaning of everything. And I just read it and it's like, really, a guy buys $1 million car and he got a $5,000 back. That's not even it's not.
It's not much.
It's a
compared to
decimal of a
$1 million.
percent.
Yeah, it's not. But if you can afford $1 million car,
You don't need the rebate.
the $5,000 back.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That's absolutely
It's like-
ridiculous.
But yeah,
I know.
just reading that.
And this is why I get pissed off with the government. You know, I'm not completely 100% anti-government. I'm not like one of them.
He's not quite an anarchist.
I'm not I don't believe in full total because I don't know what would happen if we didn't have a government. I don't know if it would turn into just complete chaos. So I believe
The Walking Dead.
So
Somebody
I believe,
would walk up to you and go, half your
Yeah.
shit belongs to me.
Exactly.
If
If
not,
not,
I'm
then-
going to kill somebody.
So, like, I do believe there has to be some sort of government, but when our government's giving out something like that, don't you think there's a problem? Like, there should be, I just think we should be looking at all of our legislation, all of our tax codes and stuff like that, and revamping them to be more effective with modern day society.
Mm-hmm.
Government can be here to build the roads if we need them to, even though how shitty they are. But I think we just need to have the ability to have more competition in those areas. In all areas, with cable, internet. Did you guys know that Canada has some of the worst internet in the world? Yet
Yeah,
we
you
pay
told me.
the most.
We pay the highest rate in almost the entire world.
Like, we pay $9 a month for like, I don't even know, 120 down, 60 up or something like that. And it's like in Europe, some countries pay like $30 for 200, 300 down and 120 up, and it's like, what? And it's because I'm not sure why it is. Really, I think it's because of competition, but that's just my opinion. It's stuff like this that just irks the fucking shit out of me.
Yeah, it is annoying. It's the...
You hear about people who are making $200K a year and paying nothing and less than what I pay at $50K in taxes, and you're like,
we actually had we have subsidized housing here in Alberta, and they did an audit like 3 years ago, and they found that there was 3 people living in subsidized housing that were making over $100,000 a year. So they were paying like $100, $200 in rent. They were making $100,000 a year, and these guys basically didn't have to pay, and they were living in a house. Not an apartment building or a condo. It was a house.
see, that's the kind of things that just irk me about government. That just gets my blood boiling, and I can just
Go off on a rant again. Okay, I got another one. People are always scared about robots, right? You're worried about Skynet rising, taking over the world, nuking the place, and Terminators taking over, shooting people, blah, blah, blah. Well, we do have reason to be fearful of robots. Now, the automotive industry is a good example of robots taking over everything, right?
yeah, well, because it's all
Yeah, right. Robotic welding, robotic putting stuff together, automated stuff going down the line. Now, robots in the next 5 to 10 years, if you are making right now a job that's making $20 or less, there's an 83% chance that your job will be replaced by a robot. And if you are making less than 40, but not less than 20, there's only a 30% chance that your job will be replaced by a robot. Now, a good example of this is a McDonald's. Now, they're trying to change their image, and they put a kiosk in their stores.
yeah.
And you can walk up to the kiosk and order your food instead of walking up to a teller and
it's like-
ordering your food.
It's like self-checkout at Safeway.
Yeah.
Or Superstore has them. Most places have
Safeway, yeah.
the self checkout where you can go by yourself and
Yeah.
just check out.
Yeah.
You know, it's just prime examples of where we're going and eventually how it's going to be. You know, I've always wondered when I shop, why can't we just have our own little price gun and just scan our stuff as we put it into the cart?
Oh, I saw a really cool commercial, and I really hope this is the way it's going, because at that point in time, you take all your cashiers off, and you can just have people wandering around, stocking shelves, helping you out, right? So this commercial is, I don't actually remember what it's for. So a guy in a long trench coat, goth-looking, black, is walking around, he's shoving things into all of his pockets on the inside of his coat. See the security guard walking around, keeping an eye on him, and he starts to walk really fast towards the entrance, and then he goes through, and you see the light go off and a little alarm sound, and you see the security guard say, "Hold it," and the guy stops, and the security guard goes up to the thing, pulls a piece of paper out, go, "Don't forget your receipt." And it's like,
I've always wondered if you could do that. Like, if everything was just a barcode.
yeah, but could you scan it in? But the point is, it would be, I think personally that's a really cool idea, because at that point in time you could just, fill up your shopping cart, put it in bags, roll it out, it gets scanned, you have your debit card on file, it comes out of your account, you just leave.
Well, it's starting to go that way. Like, if you look at our debit cards now, you got the tap and pay.
Ooh, for you Americans out there, that's not all of you. In Canada, we actually have a really, really good system, wireless system and stuff like that. So we have something called tap and pay. You take your card, you go tap, and it's done.
Yeah.
Instead of
If
having
that purchase is
to
under
swipe.
$100 right now, though. Like, anything over 100 you have to insert.
Yeah, well,
which is fine.
If you're going
For
for
a
a coffee run,
just tap.
and it's only like $3, instead of having change, you just go tap, done.
They got the Apple Pay, obviously that's new,
Yep.
where you can just you can put your phone, your information in your telephone. But a lot of places don't have it yet.
No,
but it's coming, and you can see the transition to the more of that.
cashless society.
Yeah, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. Like any place you go, it's like go cash, or like when you see like on the Tim Hortons drive-through, our debit machines are down. You're like, did you unplug it and plug it back in?
It's almost a foreign feeling now to use cash.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of yesterday when I was at the expo, everybody takes cash, right? There's some places that take debit, but basically you walk in with cash, you leave with no cash. That's the way it works. It was so weird going 20, 40,
Yeah.
60.
It's weird.
Do I
when you have
remember
money.
how to count? Because normally you just, there's the number, yeah, okay, enter your PIN, or you tap it,
Yeah.
and it's done. Now it's, I actually used to be a cash proponent. I used to say use cash all the time. You can keep track of your spending better that way.
It definitely is a better way to keep track of spending, because your debit card is like whatever.
Yeah, exactly. You don't see the money. Unfortunately, the bank that I go through has a rewards program with their cards, and the rewards program was actually really sweet for me. So it's like, okay, I just stopped using cash now. So,
We're heading toward completely mechanical and a technological society. That's where we're moving towards, and
it can be a little scary.
It's a
and
little bit
daunting.
scary, but I think if it's used correctly, it could be beneficial. Definitely, as long as they don't eliminate my job.
Well, no, your warehouse, right? You have to move a box.
That's right.
Your robot isn't likely to take your job just yet. Same with me. A robot isn't likely able to take my job. I argue that because technically a robot could do part of my job, but I would have to do the other part of the job because robots aren't designed.
We're all gonna have to learn how to maintenance robots eventually in our lives.
Yeah, that's exactly. Oh,
What do you do? I'm a robot maintenance technician.
Yeah, it's like what was it? Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the one with Johnny Depp. The father, he used to screw caps onto toothpaste, and that was his job. That's all he'd do. And then they got a robot, and it did it for him, so he was out of a job. And then they needed somebody to fix the robot, so he was able to fix the robot. So he fixed the robot to fix the
to do his old job.
Yeah, and it's just like, well, it's kind of one of those things. It's Robots are good, robots
Yeah.
are bad. All hail the glorious overlords of the robotic nation.
Oh my goodness. And on
Uh,
that note, guys, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on the Facebooks. Give us a thumbs up. And
have a written record of your glory towards the new robot overlords
That's right.
in our comments below, so when they take over, they know you're on their side.
That's right. Don't forget to subscribe to our iTunes so you can listen to us.
Listen to us.
Don't forget to tune in every week because we put out videos every week.
3 videos a week.
3.
Talking about 2 subjects and headlines.
That's right.
And yeah. Headlines are always for the week before because we can't see into the future. It'd be really
Good.
cool if we could.
Wow.
We'd be talking about headlines that are going to happen next week. You'd
That's
be like,
right. Could you imagine that?
"Ooh."
That'd be cool. They had a show about that one time.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, where the guy got tomorrow's newspaper today.
Oh, I vaguely remember something like that. No, there you go.
That's it.
Personally, I'd be using it for the lotto numbers.
I would use it for no good. I could guarantee you that.
Sports betting.
Probably.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, thank you for listening. And if you guys have any other ideas how you would abuse the future, leave a comment below. Thank you, and talk to you next week.
Good night.